He heard my voice. Preface. When I was a girl during the 60s, I was taught in Sunday school that God listened to our prayers. Mine were the simple type, for protection while I slept, blessing of my food before meals, and prayers for safety when I was scared. I felt God's presence when we marched into Vacation Bible School at Shallowell United Church of Christ in Sanford, North Carolina. The pianist was playing "This Is My Father's World" on a sunny June weekday morning when we were all relieved to be out of school, and I was thankful for a break from farm chores. On Sunday mornings, I felt the presence of God when we opened worship singing, "Holy, Holy, Holy." God was at a comfortable distance, the creator of all, watching over creation. When I was a teenager, I came to believe that God listened to our prayers that were more personal, like a conversation. During a youth retreat in 9th grade with my Grandma Smith's Presbyterian Church, in a tobacco field with stalks turned under dormant ground, dried and golden in the mid-November sunlight, I learned that Christ was my personal Savior and cared about me as an individual. It was in the early 70s, at the time that became known as the Jesus Movement, the days of Jesus Christ Superstar and Godspell. During college, in the mid-70s, I called out to God during those trying times of navigating dates and dorms, physiology and chemistry. Later, when I was an overwhelmed nursing graduate, I prayed for help when I was out from under the safety net of clinical instructors, working as a nurse on a unit of critically ill patients with leukemia. The prayers of my 20s included ones for my marriage, and right before I became 30, ones for our new baby as we became parents with our first child. Requests that focused on our 2 boys and our family dominated during my 30s as we raised our sons while working toward a balance with family and careers. But when I reached midlife, at 45 years old, struggling with a toxic job and clinical research trials, and then a diagnosis of breast cancer, I felt at a loss for the words to form a prayer. During those dark days, when I was paralyzed by fear, I found that I had to rely on the psalmist to pray for me. Over time, I began to see and feel that God did turn to me as I read in Psalm 40, verse 1.